Let the legs release down. Learn to let the legs relax. Bring the hands, palms down on the thighs. And as you look straight forward, feel that the crown of the head can ascend more and more, so that even it's like the back of the ears lengthen upward, and gently press the hands down and forward to roll the corners of the shoulders back. Then observe the shoulder blades moving down the back. Soften the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, the eyes. Then bring the hands together at the center chest and close the eyes from top to bottom. And again, observe the crown of the head lifting. And as you press the palm into the palm, feel that broadness that can come between the shoulder blades and the descent that can come from the shoulder blades moving down the back. Again, notice the skin across your face, particularly the skin across the forehead and the brow. Observe that space between the brow. Observe the temples. As you soften the temples, feel how also that sort of attaches down towards the jaw. And again, the jaw can be soft. Throat soft, tongue soft. So that quite literally you can begin to feel as though you're absorbing the senses inward. And join me for the sound of Om, and we'll continue with the invocation all together. Yogena chitasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaijakena yopa kerutam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankat Chakrasidarinam Sahasara Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om. Release the head down towards the heart center and surrender there completely. Release the hands with the palms up. With your inhale, lift the head back to center and then gently open the eyes. So get a strap and come on back to your mat. We're going to start lying on our backs. You can have a pillow for your head if you want. So if you want to take a blanket there for the head, go ahead. Go ahead and make a loop in your strap. Make a loop as long as you can, right? And then just set your strap aside We're going to start lying down with the knees bent. And with the knees bent, press the heels down and forward to create a length in the low back. You can even take the hands to the sides of the mat and push the mat away from you so the upper arms turn out. Then extend one leg at a time, push through the heel, extend the legs to straight one at a time. And as you push the heels away, roll the buttock to the heel. So you really feel that effort of the buttock to move out of your low back. In turn, you'll feel then if you really do that, right, if you really lengthen the buttock to your heels, the outer gluteals will firm a little. Go ahead and let that happen. Then broaden the mounds of the foot from the mound of the big toe to the small toe. So keeping that firmness, feel how the mounds of the foot spreading help take the thigh bones down. Then reach the arms up and hook your thumbs. Then slowly inhale and pull the arms overhead, keeping the side waist down. Don't let that side waist spring up. Instead, lengthen through the side body, side waist, side ribs, outer armpits, longer and longer. Use the hook of your thumbs. So it kind of feels like you're pulling your thumbs apart, but feel how that in turn steers the outer upper arm towards the ceiling. Observe the breath in the side body. Keep the neck soft. And switch the hook of your thumbs, but keep elongating. And then release the arms and hug the right leg in. So as you draw the right leg close, right, again, push out through the left heel and then broaden the mounds of the left foot, same as before. Imagine I were to be walking around the room. If I was, I might come by and step on your top left thigh, encouraging that frontal thigh to descend towards the ground. As well, the inner thigh should go down first, right? And take the right foot down, bend your left leg, and extend out through your right heel. Lengthen, lengthen. Buttock to that heel as you draw the left leg in. Relax the abdomen. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. Broaden the mound of your right foot. Now it's that right thigh. Descend there. Then put the left foot down, find your strap, have it in hand, but we're just going to switch sides initially. So straighten the left leg, hug the right leg in. So again, Ekapada Pavana Mukhatasana. And then go ahead and take that looped strap. It'll give you handles. Extend both or put both edges of the strap around your right foot and Supta Padmasana. So once you get that right leg straight, of course, the effort remains the same in the left, but now can you move your outer right groin towards your left foot without allowing the left leg to shrink back? The left leg should maintain its extension, but it's just an adding in of that outer right groin. And once you feel that, okay, I'm getting that outer right groin to roll away from me, spread the mounds of the right foot towards the ceiling. And really just work to keep that foot, that leg at a 90-degree angle from the floor. No need to really, pull it in by your head at all. Better not to, for right now anyway. But imagine, someone is pulling the very frontal groin of the right leg away from you more and more. And then go on and bend the right leg. And let's change sides. Go on and hook that left foot. When you hook your foot, hook kind of just above your heel. So instead of the mounds of the foot, right? Hook just above the heel. It's a little bit more sturdy. And move that outer hip away from you. And then spread the mounds of the left foot towards the ceiling. Keeping that left frontal groin moving away. Keep your neck soft, head resting easily. And release that left leg, give it a little hug in. Let's go back to the first side again. So Supta Padmasana 1. Catch all those things from before. All right. So that when when you find the totality of that outer right hip moving away and the mound of the right foot spreading, it should also give this right frontal groin a sense of moving away. Work with that, maintain that. Abdomen soft. But now reach up and hold on to both straps with your right hand. We're going to open the right leg out to the right. So we're going to take that lateral position. Now, as you do, bring your right elbow to the ground. Notice if your left hip has popped up a little bit. For most of us, it does a little. Now, as you press through the mound of your right big toe, press that toe away from you and take your left hip buttock back down again. Press into your right elbow also to help make that transition. And then inhale, come on back up to center. Change sides. Start with Supta Padmasana 1. Catch all those fundamental actions there. So when the mounds of both big toes finally get their opportunity to press away, observe how that empowers your frontal thighs, your quadriceps, to right leg move to the ground, left leg move away from you. Then hold the straps with your left hand and begin to bring that left leg out to the left. Press the elbow and push the mound of the left big toe away as you bring that right buttock hip to the ground. And breathe. And then with an inhale, come all the way back up. And then when you release that left leg, hug both legs in towards you. Dvipada Pavana Mukhatasana. Pull those shin bones straight down. Sort of allow those frontal groins to melt away. Jaw soft, forehead soft. Now we're going to do Supta Padangusthasana 1 and into that lateral position just one more time, just to let the body kind of open up a little bit. So go back to the first leg. And when you do for a second time, now that you've kind of opened the body up a little, start with all those fundamental things. But now then, when you press the mound of the big toes away, if you want to bring that leg in a little closer, go ahead, that's fine. But maintain, the alignment points, that left thigh down, all that stuff. Hold as close to your foot as you can. And then same thing again, bring that leg out to the side and go ahead and rest the elbow down today. For today, I think that's probably best. And you might even play around with where that foot ends up being, right? Once you take it out to the side and you cut that outer hip towards your left foot. The foot itself, your right foot, might come closer towards shoulder level. I don't know, kind of work with that a little bit to create a little mobility in the hip joints. And then inhale all the way back up. And change sides. Press through the mounds of the foot and consider bringing that left leg closer. Hold as close to the foot as you can and open the leg out to the left. Taking that elbow down, taking the right hip down. Elongate through the legs. And then inhale, come back up. And release that left leg. Hug both legs in again, Dvipada. Then take your strap and hook both feet for Urdhva Prasarita Padasana at a 90 degree. So again, really work for that 90 degree. That's sometimes kind of hard to find. Push through the heels first, so the buttock bones flow to the heels, and then spread the mounds of the foot. Catching the work, the effort in your front thighs. Breathe into the side body. Let the back body spread there against the ground. And if that feels like, oh, I got this, then you could hook your thumbs and pull the arms overhead. If it's a strain or if you have anything going on in the abdomen, don't do that. And in fact, if you're on your menstrual cycle, just put your feet on the ground and cross your legs like swastikasana. If your arms are overhead, switch the crossing of your thumbs. So I would say just that little action that we did, and since we released the rope, right? I would say that we're not really working restoratively tonight. We are a little bit, but it's active work. It's more like kind of a grounding practice, and we're going to be doing some inversions. But I'm going to give alternatives for that too, so don't worry. So go ahead and release that. Hug your legs in again. Turn yourself onto the right hand side and come straight up to hands and knees. Once you're on hands and knees, broaden across the palms, press the inner hand well, and take downward dog. So when you press the inner hand down, feel how the outer upper arm firms in. Reach into the heels so there's a sense of the back leg descending, but spread the mounds of the foot. When you spread the mounds of the foot, really press into the mound of the big toe and spread to the small toe. And observe how that helps you lift your kneecaps and take the front thigh into the back thigh. As if someone's hands there were pulling your front thighs back. Then walk the hands back to the feet. And inhale and come on, up standing. So I'm going to have you take handstand next. We're going to do a couple handstands at a wall. If you're not going upside down today, or if handstand's just not in your wheelhouse for this evening, the alternative will be like this. Just watch for a sec. I'll actually probably be doing this with you because I really shouldn't go upside down. So instead of handstand, those of you not doing that, we'll do this twice. The first time will be the brick will be that height on the ground. It's just going to go into your upper back. We're going to take the arms overhead. So you're either going to be here with me, head either on the floor or on a blanket, and oh, you get that full body stretch with the chest opening a little bit more. So it's either that, or if you're familiar with handstand, I'm not really teaching handstand tonight, I'm just giving it to you. If you're doing regular handstand, go ahead and walk over with your hands facing the wall, and you'll kick. If you're down here with me, get that brick on your shoulder blades. The bottom tips of the shoulder blades should be at that bottom edge of the brick. Let your head come to the ground. If it's uncomfortable, bring the head to the ground. If the chin sticks up a bunch, then you should have a blanket. In all cases, extend through the arms. Those of you in handstand, press the inner hand down and bring the weight into the mounds of the fingers, the base of the fingers, right? But everybody, push the heels away, buttock to the heels. And then spread the mounds of the foot. Really open the mound of the foot so mound of the foot extends away. And feel how that works with your front thigh. So the heels help the buttock move, but the mounds of the foot can help that front thigh press to the back thigh and bring the tailbone in. Those of you supine here with me, switch the hook of your thumbs. Find how that pull of the thumbs firms the outer upper arms, but keeps the neck soft. Then if you're in handstand, as you're ready now, you'll go ahead and release down. Those of you on the floor with me, you're going to bend your elbows and push down. You can bend your knees and just lift yourself up. Those of you that came out of handstand should be in Uttanasana, holding your elbows and getting recovered for the second round. Now, those of you down here on the floor with me, flip the brick up onto the medium height. So for some of you, that's going to mean you want a blanket for your head. You got to find out. You don't want your chin jutting up. So, either leave it there or put it there. I don't know. But now as you're ready, you're going to take that brick into the very bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Walk your shoulder blades down your back. Those of you doing handstand, if you can kick up easily with one leg, give a try kicking up with the other leg. Oh, those of you on the floor with me, go ahead and hook your thumbs, arms overhead, and push out through the heels. Buttock to the heels. In both cases, then mounds of the foot pressing away, and the tailbone hugs in. Breathe through the nose and bring that breath into the side body. Those of you on the floor with me, switch the hooking of your thumbs and keep on extending. And then come on down from handstand, or put your elbows on the ground, bend your legs, and come on up. If you come down from handstand, hold the elbows a little bit, recover there in Uttanasana. And then as you're ready, come on up. Good. So those of you going upside down tonight, your next pose is Shirshasana. So, you know, all these things work. I'm going to show you the alternative here on the floor. My thinking was, and I practiced earlier today and did a lot of inversions. You know, it's been kind of a time of turmoil. So for everybody. So, you know, doing inversions, just like one might think, it changes your perspective and helps things kind of settle down. So that's the idea of getting those inversions in tonight. It's a really good time to do that. Those of you that are not doing headstand, Shirshasana, what you'll do is you'll take 2 blankets and fold them in half this thin, long way. We're going to do Setu Bandha, but a particular Setu Bandha. So 2 blankets folded this thin, long way. The fringes are going to point, in my case, towards my feet. They're going to be down here. And I'm just trying to arrange this so my head's not on the mat. I don't like the back of my head being on the mat because my hair gets stuck to the mat. It's just annoying. So I always kind of say put that at the end of your mat. Now, for Shirshasana, if you're doing Shirshasana, you should know what to do. You go ahead and do your Shirshasana, come on up. The timing will be fine. Those of you doing Setu Bandha, watch how I'm going to set this up today. I'm putting my head on the floor and shoulders on the blankets as if I were going to do kind of like shoulder stand. So you want a little bit of blanket left beyond your neck, or beyond your shoulders, but not a whole lot. Then I push my heels down, lift the hips up, buttock to the back of the knees. Because of the height of the blankets, most of you should be happy with that brick on tall. Most people will be. And then the arms turn out, you walk the shoulder blades down the back, and it really gives this nice lift in the chest. You'll be there a few breaths, and then we're going to extend the legs to straight, one at a time, in that same pattern, pushing the heels away, feet close. You know, most of you, would imagine you'll be able to bring your feet together if you can do. And then after you push the heels away, you spread through the mounds of the foot. Come on, join me. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana or Shirshasana. Now, I'll just give you guys a minute to get into those poses. I'm going to come out for a minute. But good. Good. So I just wanted to kind of see the screen. So in both cases, though, I want you again, especially those of you that you just got up there in Shirshasana, because it takes a minute, get on up there. But feel how you can, everybody, go ahead and take your feet about hips distance apart. Even those of you in Setu Bandha. Do that and push your heels away. But, you know, it's kind of like when we do downward dog. It's not like only your heels reach towards the floor. The whole buttock should follow the heels. So the whole buttock to the heels pushes away from you. And when you do that, you'll notice the outer gluteals, they just kind of get firm, they effort. And that's correct. Don't fight that. So push those heels away, push the buttock to the heels. Then bring the feet close together and bring the mounds of your big toes together, and then press the mounds of the big toes away. And feel how the mounds of the foot help you control the frontal thighs back or down, whatever the case may be, depending on the pose. And the tailbone is then absorbed in. Once the tailbone is in, the chest can lift and you can breathe. Those of you in Shirshasana, be sure to press the outer wrists, center forearms down. And be there. Those of you in Salamba Sarvangasana, observe how you can continually take the shoulder blades down the back, encouraging the thick back ribs on each side of the trunk to coil and firm in as evenly as possible. Breathe into the side body, everyone. And if you feel like you lose the legs, you can do that over again. You know, you can separate your feet and push the heels and bring the feet together, balance of the foot, and all that stuff again and again and again. Now, those of you in Setu you're just going to keep doing. Those of you in Shirshasana, I'm going to give you an option. If you're very comfortable and stable, you'll follow along. If you feel a little wobbly, don't. But otherwise, if you're stable, turn both legs out and take the legs into Upavishta Konasana legs. The buttock bones should follow the heels. And once the legs get that division, press out through the mounds of the big toes. Breathe into the side body. And then put the feet in Baddha Konasana. Tailbone moving towards the heels, heels to the tailbone. And then come back up to Shirshasana. Get your balance, breathe. And then do that one more time. Upavishta, extend through the big toe mounds. Then Baddha Konasana, lift through the tailbone. And then Shirshasana. Now, those of you in Shirshasana, don't be in a rush. You have like a minute, take your time. But within like a minute or so, come on down. Those of you in Setu, bend your knees, heels on the ground. Push your heels down and lift the hips up, tailbone in, buttock towards the back of the knees. Remove that brick and roll yourself down so the buttock lengthens away and you finally set the hips down. You can just roll off to the side and bring yourself on up. So once you're done out of Shirshasana, go on and rest in child's pose for a moment. And then we're going to take Virasana. So I'll tell you where we're going, and then you can decide how much props you should have. I'm going to suggest everybody has a bolster tonight, just because every time you do Virasana, Supta Virasana, it doesn't mean you need to come flat on the ground. Sometimes it's good to have a little support. So the way I'm going to have you do this tonight is like so. Let's see. I'm going to turn to the side, I guess, to show you. We're just going to sit in Virasana for a moment, and you can sit on some height. It doesn't matter really. You can sit on height or you can sit on the ground in front of the bolster. We'll be here. We're going to take Padmasana. We're going to take Gomukhasana arms. Then, this is why I wanted to show you. I'm going to say lift your right leg up. You'll come forward of the bolster. You can sit in Virasana, like I said, on the floor if you want. And you can have more height here on the bolster as well. But we're going to do Ekapada Virasana. So Ekapada Supta, I suppose. I don't know. I don't really know if they named this. But you see now, I get to lie my back out over the bolster. I get the lift in my chest. This right leg keeps me stable, so I'm not just flopping around. And I get the opportunity to really lengthen that left knee forward and down. Will be a little bit. You can hold your elbows, we'll swap them. Then we'll come up, we'll switch sides, and we'll go back with the second side. Okay, so it's just an ekapada sort of variety. And it's nice. So we're doing that. So start just in regular Virasana. Once you're settled, descend the buttock, descend the shoulder blades. Feel how the pelvis becomes upright. Then interlock your fingers for Parvatasana. Press the palms forward and broaden the shoulder blades. And inhale, come on up. Now, once you've lifted up, right, still the buttock descends, but feel that you can lift the sternum from bottom to top as if someone's hand were pressing very gently and supportively into the middle upper back. And then take the arms forward and down. And change sides. And take the arms forward and down. Rest the hands with the palms up. You're going to bring the right arm behind you first, so really turn that arm inward and bring the arm behind your back. Left arm up and over, take a hold. But again, it's almost as if you have to sort of remind, oh yeah, buttock down, but sternum lifts from bottom to top. And then change sides. Okay, that's weird. Okay, other side. Buttock descends, lift the sternum from bottom to top. Okay, and then let that go. Okay, so now we're going to do that little ekapada thing. So just come a little forward of your bolster. Turn the calves out. Right. Lift your right foot forward, and you'll see you'll get a little bit of a better opportunity to sit down inside of that left heel. Go ahead and take the buttock to the floor if you can. The bolster should fill the lumbar spine, but the buttock should roll away from the bolster. And lie back. If you have a pillow and you want to put it there for your head, that's a good thing. Now you can see, because I'm facing you, this left knee, it'll kind of want to go over to your left. Lift it, steer it towards the midline, and then lengthen the front thigh to take that knee forward and down. And then reach up and hold your elbows and pull them overhead. That's right. If you need more height, you just take it. But really make an effort with that left leg that's bent, right? That Virasana leg. And then as you're ready, come on up and switch sides. Okay, sorry, I'm texting my husband. Someone turned off the lights outside this room and they freaked me out. It's probably somebody that just works on the farm, but still it's freaky. So I'm not just having a text party over here. Good, everybody. So here's the thing. If it goes into your lumbar spine, that is not ideal. So if that's happening, and that's so common, it happened to me forever and ever. So you have to just kind of manage it. So what you want to do is you want to give yourself a little bit more height under your spine so that the buttock can actually descend. The way that eventually that becomes manageable is the front thigh of your virasana leg goes down and it makes the thoracic spine go in and up. It should not cause the lumbar spine to be terrorized. That's just torture and there's no need, right? So don't torture yourself. Okay, last little bit. Hold the elbows if that feels good to you. Sometimes that makes it a lot more doable, actually, because it gives length to the body. And then go ahead and come on up. Once you do, come to hands and knees and take downward dog. So use that downward dog to release any tension that might have come into the back there, the lower back. Right. Good. Walk the hands back to the feet and come on up. Great. Get a chair. We're going to do chair back bend. Okay. So if you have neck issues, pain in your neck or anything like that, have a bolster and a blanket or two to support your head. Otherwise, it shouldn't be necessary otherwise. So Viparita Dandasana on a chair. So you can have a wall or you don't have to have a wall. That's up to you. But what I'm going to have you do is well, you guys know chair back bend, but I'm going to have you do it just a little bit differently. We're going to do it twice. And the first round, I'm going to use a wall. I like having a wall. It gives the foot really something to push off of. So it kind of energizes that bottom leg. So if you can't have one, have one. But we're going to do like so. So it's all the normal stuff, push with the hands so the shoulder blades are down the back, buttock that way. I like to bring in the hands first so the shoulders really roll back. Now, what should I do with my legs and my feet? I'm going to push my heels down, which takes the tailbone in. I'm going to keep my left leg bent, but I'm going to push my right leg into the wall. So it just means I'm going to step my left foot back as I go. Right heel pushes away, the mound of the foot presses away, and I keep the left heel down so that you kind of push down into the left heel to help steer the outer left hip towards your right foot. We'll be there for a little bit and then we'll just switch sides. So it's an ekapada of sorts, ekapada meaning one leg. And the way this evolves, this variation, is in time, and we've done it before, right? The leg is on top, sometimes the leg is straight, but we're just doing that little variation today. Then we'll come up, and then we'll go back in and do both legs straight. Just simple, right? Simple, but it really gets the chest to lift, and that's kind of what I'm going after mostly. But also those ekapadas, those alternating legs that we've done in the last pose and in this one, that's also to help that sort of pain that a lot of us will get in our lower backs from time to time, from who knows what. Okay, so it's a good way to work with the sacrum. Okay, so when you're ready, lift your chest, lie on back. Press so your shoulder blades come right off to that edge. Let the neck relax. And take the hands through the front legs, hold the back legs, and turn the upper arm out. So feel the heel bones down so the tailbone is in. Keep the right leg bent and stretch out through the left leg. Push the left heel away. And then press the mound of the left big toe away. Now, as the left leg gets long like that, keep the right heel down and steer the outer right groin or hip towards your left foot. And then bend the left leg, stretch out through the right leg in the same way. Heel pushes away, the mound of the foot presses away. Feel how the mound of your right foot pressing away can energize your frontal thigh on the right to press down. And in turn, you can get that rebounding action in the chest. Outer left hip to the right foot. Breathe and keep that chest lifting. Sternum lifting from bottom to top. Then bend both legs and release your arms. Push the elbows down. Inhale, lift the chest up, come up. Take a few breaths there. And then, kind of get a little closer to the wall so you can use it again. And let's take full Viparita Dandasana, both legs straightening. So inhale, lift the chest and arc back. Take the arms through the front legs, hold the back legs. Heels push away first, buttock to the heels. And then press the mounds of the foot away. Observe how that really activates that rebounding action through the legs, thighs down, tailbone in, upper back, coiling inward to lift the chest. Take the hands as far down those back legs as you can. Try and hold the foot of the leg. And then release the arms and then your knees. Buttock on, inhale, lift the chest, come on up. And sit for a moment. So we're going to slide the buttock back to the front of the chair seat. Hook your inner heels around the back legs of the chair. So you're nice and stable. Left forearm across the back rest, right hand holds the seat of the chair. Lift the chest and turn to the right. Look up and over that right shoulder. Breathe. Now as you twist, press the heels down and move those thick back left ribs towards your left elbow. And come back to center and change sides. So turn, lift the sternum from bottom to top. Look over the left shoulder. Now press the heels down, but move those thick back right ribs towards your right elbow. And exhale, release, go back to the right, turn. And exhale back to the left. Turn. And then right back to center. Okay, good, good. So we're going to take shoulder stand. So you're going to take regular shoulder stand. You can use the chair for your feet in halasana if you want to do that, that's fine. If you're not going upside down, then take Supta Baddha Konasana. So you'd have a bolster, blanket for your head, a blanket for each leg. I'll do that with you because I shouldn't go upside down. I kind of start forgetting that I ate, and then it's like, ugh, I ate. Don't do shoulder stand after you eat. But the thing is the yoga starts feeling so good, so you just want to do more and more and more. But you have to be reasonable. So those of you doing that shoulder stand, I would recommend having a strap for your elbows. Those of you doing Supta Baddha Konasana, it's your choice to have one strap or two. One's kind of the easiest. So I'm just going to do one. I will say if my hips are ever like achy or, they're really fatigued, then I almost always will use two straps for Supta Baddha Konasana. And I'll teach that another day, but let's not do it today. So go on and get ready. I'm doing Supta Baddha if you need to see it. Those of you doing shoulder stand, just go through your halasana and come on in as you're ready. I'm kind of keeping an eye so I know when you get in there. Good, everybody. And those of you doing shoulder stand, work with those leg actions again. Feet a little apart, buttock to the heels. Big toe mounds together, and they press away to open the frontal thighs, frontal groin. So once you're settled, Those of you in shoulder stand, lengthen across the triceps, the back of the upper arms, away from the neck. Let the head, neck, jaw, tongue all release and relax. Observe the breath in the side body. Those of you in Supta Baddha Konasana, if you'd like to hold the elbows and then pull the arms overhead, you can do that. That's fine if it feels good to you. Those of you in Supta Baddha Konasana, notice the weight of the legs and how that may rebound the middle back in. It helps the thoracic coil in so the front chest can lift. Those of you in Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder stand, keep the buttock lifting to the heels and then turn both legs out and take the legs into Upavishta Konasana. So legs go wide, buttock bones to the heel bones, then press through the mounds of the big toes away from you. Those in Supta Baddha, change your forearms if you haven't already, if you're holding them. And then shoulder stand, people, feet in Baddha Konasana. Tailbone to heels, heels to tailbone. And then back to Salamba Sarvangasana. Walk your hands up your back. Right, and then do that again. So the Upavishta legs, that's it. Take a little time there so you really feel the effect of the mounds of the foot pressing away. And then when you're ready, Baddha Konasana. And then when you're ready, shoulder stand. Okay, so now shoulder stand, people, go ahead into Halasana and make your way down. Same with Baddha Konasana, people, go ahead and bring your arms out of that hold and push the floor away to come up. You can either come up to sitting or you can roll to the side and then straighten the legs. We're all going to take a full Setubandha Sarvangasana. So that can be kind of anyone you want. My inclination, let's do actually a wall. If you have a wall, let's do that. And we'll do a little differently than if those of you who aren't doing the inversions did that other variety of Setubandha earlier. You'll see this will be different. If you've got your mat, maybe just fold it in half a couple times and set it aside. We're going to get back to that in a second. But for this Setubandha, have a strap have a blanket, and have 2 bricks. Let's see, didn't I have a brick out before? Oh, maybe not. And we're gonna do this one at the wall where you put the brick on tall or on medium for that matter, right? Whatever height the brick is at the wall is the height that you intend to put under your tailbone. So it can be medium, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're using a medium height brick, it's not as necessary, although it's nice to put a strap around your thighs in all cases. So upper thigh, keep the legs nice and tight and together. Head and shoulders go on that blanket. And then either brick on tall or on medium, whatever you're using, you lift your hips and you place that brick under the tailbone. So if you're on a wooden floor and you have wooden bricks, everything slides and it's pretty easy. If you're on carpeting or you have foam bricks, you just have to kind of work it out. But what I like to always teach from here is to bring the feet high up on the wall like that. Hold your brick straight in your legs, and then it's just kind of a scooch down to the brick. And then voila, turn the arms out. And it's a nice Setubandha Sarvangasana. Make sure you keep those arms turned out. Take your time getting in. Be sure you lift your hips from the floor. Do not sit on that brick and try and lie back over it. I don't see anyone doing that. I'm just working off of memory, but I see that happen and it worries me. And once you get in that position, you can roll the buttock to the heels and then press out in the mounds of the big toes again. Oh, you find those effects again. Tailbone moving in. And again, if you imagine that I'm there pressing your top front thighs down, feel how that works to rebound the thick back ribs in to lift the chest. As the chest lifts, observe how the gaze can slowly roll downward to that lifted space. And then bend the legs, put the feet on the floor. Press the heels, lift the hips, tailbone in, move that brick. And roll yourself down, vertebra by vertebra, hips touching down. Very last thing. And take a few breaths there. And as you do, you can remove that strap. Roll yourself onto the right hand side. Come up, have a seat. You can sit on that blanket because it'll be most comfortable. And take one of your bricks or even both of your bricks there in front of you. And bend forward and rest your forehead for a few moments. Have as much height as you need. And then look up and change the crossing of your legs. And you guys know, resting your head on this brick, this isn't about getting your head as low as it'll go. It's just to release your back, that's all. Good. And then come on up. Okay. So now have a mat. We're going to go over to a wall. I want you to bring your bolster, maybe a blanket, and we're going to take Viparita Karani. Okay, so we'll have a nice long Viparita Karani, but I want you to have what you need, right, so that your chest is quite lifted. So I'll tell you what I use. That's one of these bolsters, and these are kind of fat, thick bolsters. They're sort of extra big, I think. They're much bigger than the ones that they used to have at Yoga Works. So it goes on the edge of the mat. You leave a little space between the bolster and the wall. And I like to place in there an entire folded blanket. It's one of these long, thin folds. Now, that's a good deal of height for most people. You might be better off with just one fold of the blanket. Let's like something like that. It just kind of depends on how big your bolster is, how tall you are, how mobile your spine is, all those things. But what I want to impress on you, especially for today's class, is I do want you to have some height there. And I think you'll be able to see this. I'm going to somersault in. I know some of you know how to do that. I know some of you know how and sometimes avoid it. The benefit of it is you'll get your hips placed better. And then the downside of it is you have to somersault. So, you know, if you want to swing your legs up, that's fine too. I'll show you how to get close in that case. But it's the effect of this height that I want to demonstrate. So just watch how I somersault in. Head goes to the ground, around my back, and I kind of slide. You try not to choke yourself with your t-shirt. Now, if you can see where I am right now, and I think you can, you see how my shoulders are lifted and my butt's kind of falling down in that hole. I want to take my shoulders to the ground. So I just kind of have to, give them a second. My buttock came away from the wall a little bit. I'm not upset by that at all. But it's almost like I'm taking a moment. If someone were pushing on me, they'd be pushing my armpits down and they'd be pushing my front thighs at the wall. And yes, I've been adjusted like that before with two people doing the adjustments. So it's literally like you're trying to make this part of the body longer. And you can get it if you just get in there and relax a little bit. But the point is, look how much it makes my chest lift. Now, if you swing your legs up, you might end up kind of back here. And so that's kind of the point of this prop. It pushes on your back so your chest lifts more. And the body will always avoid that. So if you end up here, you just put your hands back there and try and walk in so that you get this lift here. And then it'll come. So that's the deal. So see about getting in there. Come on in. Turn the arms out once you get there and be here with me and be Viparita Karani. Legs up the wall. Ooh, if you're on your menstrual cycle, just skip the lifts. Just hips on the floor, legs up the wall. And that's fine for menstrual cycle. And I can kind of see some of you, I think most of you are kind of getting in there now. So once you're there, push up through your heels dramatically. You'll feel it kind of move your legs towards the wall. And then press the mounds of the foot towards the ceiling. Observe how that rolls your outer thighs slightly forward towards your head. Let the inner groin soften. Imagine your front groins are pinned to the wall. Shoulders descend to the ground. Let the eyes close. Let the gaze settle inward towards the heart center, that place that is the seat of the self, or the abode within. Allow for the heaviness of the legs like a mountain. Allow for the depth of the abdomen like a deep mountain lake. Observe that gentle current way at the depths of the lake. That fill up into a clear sky there across the chest center, like a clear blue sky there. Allow the jaw and the eyes and the ears to not just relax, but to almost thin out. The head in this position is almost like the ether, like a very thin space. Place simply of observation. Again, drawing those senses inward into that ether-like substance inside. Now you're going to just very slowly start to transition out of that by bending your knees and slowly starting to push the wall away. Take your time. When your hips end up on the ground, cross the legs in swastikasana and allow them to rest there on that bolster setup. Change the crossing of the legs. And you're going to back yourself away from the wall. But back away while keeping your heels on the support of your bolster for a few moments. Observe how there the frontal groins and the thighs can become heavy and relaxed. Keep that heavy and released state in the legs. And back up that last little bit so that the feet rest on the ground. Feel the frontal thighs descend, legs surrendering to the earth. Take a few long, complete exhalations there, surrendering into your Shavasana. Surrender and let go. Surrender completely, totally. Smooth, long, complete exhalations. And then bend the left leg, reach the right arm overhead, and roll yourself onto the right hand side. Use the left hand, press the floor away, and come on back up. That's all for tonight, everybody. Namaskar.